Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those from the greater SCP Foundation. Welcome to another anomalous broadcast from Site 42, this time a Dr. Sherman's office hours. I am clearly Dr. Theron Sherman, and I am here to answer your SCP-related queries, be they regarding the SCP Foundation staff, containment protocols, the greater universe, and of course, the SCPs themselves. So, good to see you, Zero, Matistube, and Nazia in the chat, for no better reason than the fact that you're all here. Meanwhile, Junior Researcher Sally, Drowsy, Dr. Tardigrade, and Crystal Workman, thank you guys for being in the chat, and especially thank you for being members. We are on a standard 3-hour office break today, so I'm just making sure all systems are go, memetic filters are up, signals are digitized, splines are reticulated, and we'll be good to go. Ah, yes, that is correct amount of jaunty. Hypothetically, is SCP-999 drinkable? Well, it is a slime, and it is a slime that keeps itself together pretty well. So if you separated a bit of it, I mean, is Jell-O drinkable? That's your useless, not your useless. I saw someone say useless in the chat and got sidetracked. That's your most useful comparison here. Jell-O, SCP-999. So can you drink Jell-O? That's the question I have for you all. Now, Zero, since you distracted me with what is the most useless SCP, Oh, Amber, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member and for your direct donation yesterday after stream. Much appreciated. Make sure to grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. The most useless SCP. See, I'm an optimist. I can find a use for anything if you work hard enough at it. So what would a useless SCP be? I mean, I guess one that's decommissioned, therefore it was useful for one time, but then obviously since it's been destroyed, it's not useful anymore. And for that, I think I'm going to go with SCP-4465-D. No, that's not the right anomaly. Let me go into the series page. I know it's a 4000. And I'll be able to see which one has a D. Darkness is coming. It might just be faster to search Calibold's author page, because I do know Calibold wrote it. Oh no, I only got 2 numbers transposed. It was 4456D, not 4465D. A common mistake on the Foundation database. So, yes, 4456-D was an anomalous pirate vessel. Or I guess it looks like a pirate ship, but it's actually just a standard Spanish galleon. But every time it spawned, we would have to pay it $519,000 in gold, silver, or gemstones to make it disappear. And eventually that just became too resource intensive to contain, so we blew up the ship. So that was, we don't like to destroy anomalies a lot, but one reason if it's just too expensive to contain, and this was one of those opportunities. What are you drinking? Intern Reaper, I am drinking coffee. It's been a long morning. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. Having some whiskey while I get some work done. Don't tell the overseers, I need it after some shit that went down earlier. Listen, what's a little anomalous fluid between friends while you're just writing documents? As long as they're non-anomalous documents. You gotta be careful with anomalous documents. Those, those are unpredictable. So as long as they're not anomalous documents, you're good. What's the time on your watch? Well, my time zone, it is currently 3:43, which is coincidental. So yes, as I said, standard 3-hour stream, of which we are 6 minutes into, so we're just getting started, people. Dr. Sherman, I would like to request a raise and more SCP-999 time. Well, wouldn't we all? Submit your request, as anyone does, and we will see where it goes with HR. Was that a picture of Ichiban Kasuga on your watch? Of course it was, Edward, and thank you for being a member. Ichiban is a quite inspirational figure, sees the best in people, does his best to lift them up no matter what, even if he was beat up by them or betrayed. Ichiban Kasuga is a man we should all strive to be like. Mindwolf, well, I appreciate you being a member. If there are no SCP-726-J's present, let's not tempt them. Huh? Let's just enjoy the quiet moment where they're not here, huh? Dr. Sherman, will you be angry if I give SCP-049 the gender-swapping stone? Well, Intern Fur, right now, there is no... Oh, wait a minute. Did I say the wrong number? Maybe I need more coffee. I don't even know how to type on this thing right now. All right, so wait. Who was asking? About what? Did I say the wrong number or did they say the wrong number? Alright, Mindwolf said 729, so if I said 726, I apologize for the indiscretion here. It just turns out that maybe I was curious about where the butt ghost is. I would much rather deal with the butt ghost than with SCP 729-J. The butt ghost is a much more easy to deal with anomaly. What? I am losing my mind. What? Oh, that's 789-J. Oh. The peep is 729, the butt ghost is 789, and I need to drink more coffee. So, still the answer to your question is, I don't want to know where it is, I want it to go away, and I'm glad it's not here. Hey, Dr. Sherman, we got the tree to scream. You can rest now, have a vacation all paid by the Ethics Committee. I know a prank when I see it. Not falling for it again. Oh, also, Dr. Sherman, any updates on the SCP-173 situation? What 173 situation? Is there a situation with SCP-173 I haven't heard about? Dr. Marine, good to see you in the chat. Can the Invisible Man beat SCP-173? 173 doesn't have eyes, therefore, it doesn't need to see you to find you in a room. Therefore, it can sense when you're looking at it. So no, an invisible man would not beat SCP-173. When was the last time someone asked about what would happen if 096 saw its own face like in a mirror? You know, junior researcher HLG, I think maybe we finally answered the question enough that people will stop asking. That's less likely than I think, though. Can you take one of the workers from SCP-3008? Well, we wouldn't, but yes, it is possible. The employees can leave the building, although they don't tend to unless they're in pursuit of a survivor who has happened to find the exit. If you look at the end of the SCP-3008 documentation on the SkipNet database, you will see that the journal entry we had was from someone who had escaped the IKEA only to get shot, along with a couple of the instants. No, we did not shoot the man. Okay, that's good news. At least we didn't shoot the guy. But a human male exited SCP-3008, followed 10 seconds later by an instance of 3008-2. The -2 caught and killed the man before itself being terminated by armed personnel. The incident represents the only time an instance of 3008-2 has been seen exiting 3008. And we have a log of the autopsy report, which shows what they are made of. So, that is the situation there. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. If 096 looks into a mirror, it'd probably just cry and try to comfort itself, since it clearly thinks it's extremely ugly. Well, I doubt that it would be sentient enough to make such a decision, but I do know that it would just sit there crying because that's what it always does unless someone else sees its face. Blur, good to see you in the chat. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself a bagel on your way past the commissary. Ah, the man who hates a yellow rabbit plushie. Listen, I'm not the only one who hates that thing. I know you've read the documentation, you must have by now, and you see that it's not just me. That thing is a menace. And as soon as we find a way to destroy it, it is right up there with 682 for me, honestly. I take it back. Ethics committee, don't yell at me. I will follow protocol. I will not unnecessarily destroy an anomaly. They're always watching. Sorry for my late reaction, I was just checking in, but SCP-173 was supposed to be relocated, and it hasn't been relocated for weeks already, and I think we forgot to send cleaners. That doesn't sound right to me. Just came from a Johnny Razor stream. Oh, how's Mr. Razor doing? Not causing any trouble, I hope. I do not have any transfer orders for 173 on the books here. Meanwhile, it's moved to Site 19 in 1993. It's been there ever since. I mean, yes, we move it once in a while for field testing, but then we put it back at Site 19. They've got the protocols to repeatedly clean the cell, so I don't know why they wouldn't. This doesn't sound... I'll put through a missive. I'll see if I find anything. Who's in charge over there this week? SCP Site 19. All right, Director Moose. An agent is concerned about 173's, about a 173 transfer order that I have no record of. Can you confirm? All right, we'll see you back if Director Moose gets to us. Hey, Dr. Sherman, how you doing? Also, happy Pride Month. Also, if you had a Dandy's World Twisted 4 example Twisted Sprout, how would it be contained? Well, I'm doing okay, and happy Pride Month to you too. What the hell is a Dandy's World Twisted 4 example Twisted Sprout? I guess Dandy's World is a place, and a twisted is an object, and you're using the number 4 to replace the word for. Have I got all that right? Honestly, if you all typed like professionals, I wouldn't have such a problem here. So, Dandy's World Twisted. Name of the antagonist of Dandy's World, corrupted tunes. Okay, I don't like tuned anomalies. They're always very frustrating. Yes, indie mascot horror game. They're on different floors. They're machines. I see. Well, the good news is that we don't have to contain them because they're already self-contained in a facility of their own situation. I do not mind that for an easy containment. Why? That is an SCP-729-J with a different designation. Great. There's more of them. Mine Wolf, I am blaming you. Entirely. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a raspberry cola on your way past the commissary. What color is your favorite vehicle to eat? What color is your favorite vehicle to eat? You say. I'm going to say tan with a pinkish center because I'm talking about a hot dog because there's a Wienermobile. That's the closest I get to eating a vehicle is a hot dog because it's shaped like a hot dog shaped vehicle. That's the closest you're going to get for this one. Very peculiar. Sheeny, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Oh, Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Guys, you're hurting his feelings. He's just trying to help. I'm talking about SCP-729-J. And nothing will stop me from typing like Dado. Canadian Overlord, I'm sorry to say, but that is some fake fan behavior there. Everyone knows that Dado's caps lock key is broken. Therefore, Dado only speaks in lowercase letters, and you capitalized his name. That's the most insane version of doing it wrong. Dado only types lowercase, especially the name Dado. Get on our level. Hey, Dr. Sherman, if an anomaly has a really good lawyer, could they prevent being contained? We don't exactly go through legal channels here. We're an underground non-governmental organization. We are not likely to follow those kind of rules. Can you just press the shift key, not caps lock? Yeah. What is Dado's excuse again? It's in the first, on the Dado hub. Dado hub. Page for what is Dado hub, yes. Hello, yes, you have reached Dado House of Fine Pharmaceutical, also laundry and 10. Please also visit Dado's short-term loan and VHS rental store while in town. Yes, I am Dado, of course, purveyor of fine Dado business. Please forgive spelling error. Hamster is often walkabout the keyboard and hamster. Oh, you are interested in see catalog of valuable remedy? Yes, I show this to you. Dado has what fixes the ails in you. Please see catalog below. Sorry again for any misspells. Dado uppercase key broke. So there's your explanation. Dado uppercase key broke. That's all we know about the situation. I guess it means multiple keys since there's 2 shifts and a caps lock. That Goofy Bray and Dr. Fur, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What Pacific Rim thing would be an SCP? The Jaegers, the hybrids, or the kaiju? Obviously, the kaijus are the anomalies, and the Jaegers are what we built to combat the anomalies. As I can show you in the very Pacific Rim-like SCP. Where is it? 5514. SCP-5514, the Dragon Slayer, is our SCP Foundation in collaboration with the Global Occult Coalition and the Council of High Brazil, our Jaeger, pictures of which are as follows. That is our friendly neighborhood Jaeger. Blueprints available. So yes, we don't have to worry, we don't have to think about that as a hypothetical because we've already got one. He's very nice. We have giant robots. Where do I sign up in order to pilot one? You need to put in a missive with the SCP-5514 research team, obviously. Nerd in the Matrix, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, doctor, opinion on the Chaos Insurgency. They suck. Bunch of dicks. Both, they are a bunch of dicks and they suck a bunch of dicks. That is my opinion of them. They suck. You've talked about containing the Doctor from Doctor Who before, but wouldn't that be counterproductive? Like, who saves the Earth from the Daleks when it's not he, it? Anomalies are its, not he's or she's, depending on regeneration anyways. So the answer is, remember proper pronoun parlance for containment protocols. Like who saves the Earth from Daleks when it is locked in an SCP Foundation box? Obviously we do. We don't need that doctor banding around messing things up. We can handle it. Did anyone ever find out what happened to the offshoot? I believe their lead animator got rather busy and it slowed down production. I still need to reach out to them and see if I can help them figure out how to keep production moving. Maybe they need an extra teammate or something. The Ant Kings, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a snow cone on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I must ask, how is the tree tests? The tree tests are going fine, and that we are testing the tree plenty fine, and there haven't been any accidents. But they're not going fine in that we haven't succeeded to make the tree scream yet. The time is coming. Does anyone know SCP-055? Intern Rojas, we don't have an SCP-055 on the database. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Would Australia be considered the SCP that is basically just accepted as normal? SCP... Australia is not in and of itself an SCP, like the state of Massachusetts is. But there is the very prominent SCP-5883, the Meanwhile in Australia meme, in which any person who is memed in this manner becomes the opposite day version of themselves. It was very frustrating. They kept doing it to staff members as a prank. It was very annoying. Oh, what is that? Where am I on this? Thaname, thank you for a very generous Site 42 10-year anniversary birthday present donation through the direct donation on Ko-Fi. If you donate through Ko-Fi, then YouTube doesn't take 30% of it, so it's a little more effort, but you get more bang for your buck that way. Much appreciated. Yes, just thank you for that. I was trying to think of an answer to your question, but you didn't ask me a question. That's why I got a little confused at the end there. Oh, 729-J-SCP. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Why don't you grab yourself a vial of arsenic on your way past the commissary? Hey, doctor, just arrived and already in your walls, and my clones are under your floor. Bunch of punk asses, if you ask me. And I imagine since you're here at office hours, you are asking me, and that is my response. Ten Tails, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Danish on your way past the commissary. Dr. Chairman, how have you been? Doing okay, a little tired these days, but nothing I can't handle. I'm curious if you know a famous D&D creature called False Hydra. What would the SCP Foundation do with it if found by the Foundation? I have heard the name False Hydra. Is this thing going viral for some reason recently? SCP... No, not SCP. Start with just False Hydra. I'm going to start with a... Well, I was going to look at Know Your Meme, because that would tell me why it's going so viral. But Know Your Meme doesn't have a False Hydra page. However, it is know your mean of a trans hydra or gender ideology hydra. And so that is a welcome addition to Pride Month, I guess. Congratulations, trans community, you have a hydra. Oh, I see, it was made by haters, but it was cool enough that people claimed it. Yeah, I'd imagine that people would want to claim that. It looks pretty dope. Haters shouldn't make cool shit if they don't want us to have cool shit. So, where was I? Yes, the false hydra. It's a creature that makes everyone forget it when they see it, and anyone it's eaten. An example of this, say you stayed in by a couple, in the morning only the wife remains, and they say they were never married, but cry if you press them about it and don't know why. So, it is an anti-memetic entity. Great. So, let's consider the anti-memetics division then. SCP Anti-memetics division. Thank the Lord I took my Nestics this morning so I could remember we had an anti-memetics division. And in this case, the Lord I'm talking about is SCP-5991, Vorjesus. I think that Vorjesus deserves a little more love after yesterday's thrashing at the Which Jesus is Best poll. And so I'm giving Vorjesus a little extra clout for a bit. So, anomalous anti-memetic entities. Oh! We do have a 055. Interesting. All right, so because there's an anti-memetic corrosion effect, you have to write notes, that way you recall. You have to have someone keep an eye on it. That's the biggest thing, is we would have to have enough staff to keep an eye on the anomaly at all times. That way someone is currently in charge of containment. We would need it essentially the same way we do the blinking check with SCP-173. We would need to have multiple researchers, or D-Class at least, keeping an eye on this, telling... We can't trust D-Class with this kind of job. From there, we need to form a big enough group to be able to figure out what's going on. Anti-memetics are such a deal. If our Nestics work to help us remember what we were dealing with, that would be very helpful. As well. The Ant Kings, thank you for donating again. Question, ghost blinking technique or SCP-173? I don't know what ghost blinking technique means. I'm going to try and see you in the chat, but I'm also going to try and Google that and just see if I can find out what it means. Ghost blinking is all about keeping your eyes open longer than usual. Handy if you're gearing up for a staring duel or just fancy channeling your inner Wednesday Addams.
Guys, how to ghost blink. This is a very effective method. You don't have to blink for hours at a time. So let's get right into it. Let me teach you guys the easiest way of doing this. Just don't think about blinking. Now you are manually blinking because I said that. It's the same thing about if I tell you not to breathe, now you're going to think about breathing. Now you're going to breathe manually instead of on command. So, that's the easiest way instead of on command. So,
I don't think ghost blinking is a thing. This doesn't seem real.
that's your mind.
You can only keep your eyes open for so long, even with practice. What is the longest that a person hasn't blinked? What is the world record for non-blinking? World record for not... Oh, thank you, Google algorithm, for answering my crazy predictive texts. The world record for not blinking is held by Anishka A.S. of Tamil Nadu, India, who kept her eyes open for 2 hours without blinking, with some eyeball movement at intervals, on World Sight Day in 2023 at the age of 10. She also broke the record at the age of 10, holding for the longest time without blinking. Well, that's exactly says the same thing. And then this is saying the world record is 72 hours, which is very different than 2 hours. So what is the actual world record? It seems like that last one is fake, and the actual record is 2 hours. Okay. So that being said, yes, I think this ghost blinking thing is not a very useful strat, unless you can, not blink. That's the end of the story there. And also the one eye at a time thing, unless you're really accurate with it, you'll see micro blinks when I switch. And so unless you're very well trained at it, alternating blinking is pretty hard to do, actually. A lot of people think they're so smart for coming up, as if they're the only ones who came up with blinking alternating your eyes. It's not that easy on the fly. Johnny Razor is composing a diss track on DeJesus with chat. With DeJesus, not DeJesus. DeJesus. Okay, interesting. Someone just referred to you as Dr. Shawarma. Ooh. I haven't had shawarma in a while. So happy the Avengers invented that. Demon Kid, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a loaded baked potato on your way past the commissary. I'm an SCP. I'm SCP-6666. My OC, anything you say is canon. And I've already breached containment. I'm coming for you. I am freaking Saturn's son. Freaking G Saturn's son. Well, don't make me call G Saturn and tell them to set you straight. Seriously, listen to your parents, kid. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Hello, yes, this is Dado. I now own Canada. Dr. Sherman want moose peel. I make you big moose. Only for good doctor, free shipping, no scam promise. I would not like to be a moose, so I will pass on this offer of anomalous parapharmacology. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Does anyone know where my pet is? His name is Magtoth. He looks like a giant shrimp made out of lava. He has gone missing. Warning, he's 10,000 degrees Celsius, internal temp only 20 degrees Celsius external. How big is it that the internal temperature is 10,000 degrees, but by the time it reaches the outside, it's only 20 degrees Celsius? That thing must be massive. Oh, Gamer, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. And time check. We are 40 minutes into this stream, which means we are 2 hours and 20 minutes from the end of this stream. Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Anti-memetics division. We have no anti-meme. Yeah, that happens. Understandable. We do not need epic music at this time. SCP-729-J. It got by me. Oh, it feels worse when it gets by ya. Huh. Didn't like that. Nope. Did not like that. Wait, is this the first time this iteration has donated today? They're multiplying. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cyanide pill on your way past the commissary. Deranged Cantina band music in the distance. Well, I do like Cantina band music. Even when it's deranged, that means they're getting a little feisty. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a coconut cut in half with an exotic beverage inside on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sheridan, not my name. I have a reality warper that we are transferring through your site in a week. Have the preparations been made? Let me check the transfer logs. SCP, reality bending, anomalies coming through. I need you to be more specific. You know, the Foundation has 568 anomalies on the database tagged reality bending, and I see 4 coming in through transfer through us in the next week. So, I mean, preparations are made for all 4. We're good at our job, but you've got to specify which one. (729-J-SCP), thank you for donating again. I am behind you. Cactus, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a papaya on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can you explain Paphysics? So the easiest way to describe Paphysics is, what if you wrote a book and then the characters in that book were alive and you were their god because you were the one writing that book? Now imagine if we are the characters in the book and it goes to a higher level there. So Paphysics is the study of narrative layers. And so if we write a book and those characters are alive, that's a lower narrative layer. And if those fictional characters write another fiction, that makes it a second narrative layer below. And you just keep climbing down, 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 or up, 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 depending on where you go. So that is the short version of Paphysics. Dr. Sherman, what do you think about SCP-3001? I find it very enjoyable and disturbing story. Ethics Committee, or sorry, Ethics Committee. Number one, SCP-3001 is very highly ranked among SCPs that I enjoy. During the SCP-3000 contest, my favorite 2 of the contest were 3999 and then 3001. The story of Robert Scranton in that article is fantastic, and the emotionality is right on the line. If you go to look at the recording of SCP-3001 that we have here on Site 42 Red Division, it's one of the proudest recordings we have on the channel, I think. I had some guest researchers come in to do some voices, and then I did my own voice, and I think we just knocked it out of the park. But you tell me, listen to SCP-3001 on this channel. Tell me what you think. It is just an audio podcast, so, you know, put it on while you're doing stuff. Someone went through the Ko-Fi again. Give me a quick second. Give me a quick check-in is what I said there. Do 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 do. Fenemi, thank you for donating again through the Ko-Fi. Hey, Dr. Sherman, do you have a favorite die and a favorite number? Die as in dice. So I in my tabletop gaming days, I DM'd a 10-person weekly campaign of the Dresden Files tabletop RPG, in which I shoehorned a bunch of SCP elements because they matched the urban fantasy setting. And during that, I had a Doctor Who TARDIS dice tower that I used for my rolls. And in that dice tower were 5 dice. Two of them were gold, and 2 of them were black. And those were my god dice as DM. And so there was the heaven and there was the darkness, the hell. And every time I rolled my 4 fate dice, because it was a fate core game, which means you're using plus or minus dice, not numbers, that would be what I would use. And if I had to roll a d6, I had a spare black d6 to go with that set. So, of my favorite dice, I don't have a favorite die, but I have my set for when I play my fate games. And of course, my favorite number would then be a pause 4 for the roll. And someone else just hit the Ko-Fi while I was looking over here. Let me, again... Foxy the Raving Fox, thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi. Much appreciated. Yes, I'm in chat. I assumed you were. Currently working on making revisions on the document I made. I was approved by O5, but there are some revisions I need to make due to people not reading past the first 2 lines of a description. Also, today is the first time I've actually read the page of 953. 953 is a very popular anomaly, and so it's important to know that one for when people are going to bring it up. Meanwhile, good luck on your revisions for the document. I hope that the reason people are not reading past the first 2 lines is because it's some sort of anti-memetic that stops them, and not because there are a lot of errors that you need fixing. But if you do, good luck on your edits. The writing process for these documents is not hard. That's why we hire the best of the best of the best. All right, let me get that brightness off my screen. And come back here, double check this. Ah, very nice. Thank you, Synth. Synth, the editor, just sent me a new video that we have on Early Access. It's episode 2 of our SCP Fragmented Minds playthrough. So, if you want to see that now instead of Friday, you can check that out on the Early Access for patrons and channel members. And now I'm paranoid that I put it on the wrong date, so I'm going to confirm that real quick. Scheduled. Uh-oh. Did I mess up? No, this isn't refreshed. Please say I did it right. 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 Scheduled for the 13th. Yes, I did it right. I'm a good YouTuber, damn it. I did it correctly. Oh, Synth, you're in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Synthetic Alien, he's the editor for the channel, in case you didn't know. Say hello, everyone. Where was I? Where's the chat window? Here we go. So, let me refresh this, and... Dr. Sherman, who would win in a fight between Kratos and SCP-343? I bet my mattress and my lunchbox on Kratos. I mean, reality bending is pretty tough. I don't remember if Kratos has been purely erased from reality by any of the gods that it has encountered. Been erased from reality. Because it wouldn't be just a fight, it would be a wave of the hand and Kratos disappears. I believe that Kratos is not immune to that kind of warping, to my knowledge. That's just a guess, though. I'm no God of War expert. Good point, Edward. Dr. Sherman, why is my name White? Oh, you are a white name. Interesting, Synth. I would have thought at the very least. Do settings. Two, 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 two. There we go. Staff blue upgrade. There you go. That should have worked. Now, where was I? Fogman82, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pretzel on your way past the commissary. One of the big pretzels with beer cheese dip. You know what I mean? We require red viscous fluid. Or you can go get some red viscous fluid, I guess, from the commissary. Go nuts. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Magtoth is the size of a direwolf. The heat is mostly contained inside of a rock lair. It sometimes spits lava when threatened. It's not he. Come on. It's an anomaly. I guess it's a pet. I guess that slides under the rules a little bit. Oh, fine. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Hello, Dr. Sherman. New tree scream pill no scam. Very strong, not fake. It help hear trees. Only for good doctor. Trust Dado. Very real best deal. On one hand, you always say you need to trust Dado. And I very much do not feel like I trust Dado. But I do really want that tree to scream. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just said it helped you hear trees. And we can already hear the trees. There's no sort of avoiding that. Because all trees scream. You know, in real life, the trees scream. We scientifically proved that recently. It's just on a frequency we can't hear. And so that means that I don't want to hear the trees that are normally screaming. I want to make the tree that's not screaming, SCP-4521, scream. There's only one tree that doesn't scream, and it's this one. So I don't need to hear trees scream. I saw through your ruse. Yeah, that's right. You can't outwit me. Not at this hour. You're going to have to wake up pretty early in the morning to outwit me. And even then, you won't outwit me. I just won't be, I'll be asleep, so I won't be aware of whatever you're doing. But I won't be outwit, I will be snoozing. Site 42 staff, I don't want to alarm you, but I noticed that you guys have successfully gotten more likes than viewers on this stream. Congratulations! In under an hour today, you guys are getting better. So, I have to go to the Ko-Fi again. Someone has done a direct donation, much appreciated. We keep 100% of direct donations, so it's better than doing it the YouTube way. It just takes a little more effort, which is fair. So, no big deal either way, but let me go through the system here. Get blinded again. Well, I improvised a bit, but here's the result of the roll in coffees. Rolled d6s as fate dice, are six-sided. Oh! Well, thank you for that incredibly generous roll and therefore donation. Jiminy sakes. So, wow. I want you, rather than going to the commissary for a normal meal, I want you to go to the break room on Sector 75-G. And once you get to Sector 75-G, you need to go to the coffee machine and hit double espresso. Now, what that's going to do, I'm not going to tell the rest of chat. But you enjoy it. And thank you again for your incredibly generous donation. Read this message out loud, SCP-2521. Ah, you poor sap intern lost football gator. It turns out the memetic filters around this stream protect us from such things. Thank the desk of Clef for the efforts. Aether, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a BLT on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, could you send a team down to Builder Bear's cell? Oh, no. We have a bit of a problem down here. My hands are full with dragging Abel back to its cell at the moment. Not the Builder Bear. Oh, man. Okay, security is going to be en route. Okay. 10:48. Good luck. Man. Refreshing. Gamer, thank you for donating again. Or is this your first donation of today's stream? I think it's your first donation of today's stream. And if so, you should go get yourself a cheeseburger on your way past the commissary. How mean does somebody have to be to get banned? Just curious, because some people who call you nicknames don't get banned. But one time someone said, "Shut up, you're gay," and you banned him without a warning. Well, it depends on tone, and sometimes it's very arbitrary. When people are calling me nicknames, that seems to be in good fun, and I don't have a problem with that, even if it is mildly unprofessional. But when people are being rude, I have a no-tolerance policy, so to speak. In order to keep this community clear and fun for the rest of us, if someone's going to be a dick, I don't need them here. We have 1 million followers. What is one loser who feels like they want to be mean and come in immediately being rude? Doesn't seem right to me. So it is highly picky on just vibes from me. I'm usually a give people a pretty good chance way, and I'll wait for interpretation, but if someone is directly rude, that's where you're going to have some trouble. Caracal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a jelly donut on your way past the commissary. An American jelly donut, not a Pokemon jelly donut. The existential dread always kicks in when the dysphoria does. Hope your day is going good. Going to chill with SCP-682. Its acid bath feels nice. I apologize for your ill feelings in the day. That is hard, and I hope the best for you in getting over that. I hope you have good people trying to help you out with that. I mean, I'm just going to pass over that acid bath feeling good thing. That freaks me out a little bit. Ryuji D. Please be aware, you are not being ignored in this chat if I don't call you out. There are over 100 people chatting, even with slow mode. It's hard to see everybody flying by in the chat, so please, anybody who is going to be in the chat, don't take that personally. I try to throw some white names in between the donations when I can as well. You are not being ignored. Ten Tails Gaming, thank you for donating again. Throws one of the SCP-72... With his anomaly, dragon strength, and the power of hatred for it, the power of pure determination, Undertale style, yeet. Well, maybe that'll take it a while to get back to us. Here's hoping. Oh, but not this one apparently. 729-J-SCP. Thank you for donating again. I know you love 729-J secretly. That is a disgusting accusation, and I disavow. What would happen if I cuddled SCP-999? Well, it tickles. That provides a mild euphoria. That's right in the documentation. You can read the website, right? You are an employee here. You are capable of reading the database entries, yes? Maybe? You're capable of typing, so hopefully you're also capable of reading as well as writing. Honestly. Whew, I am behind on these donations. Let me catch up rapid fire real quick. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Just check my logs. Turns out it's Ben Franklin, pickle and all. Oh no. Benjamin Franklin and his magical wish-granting penis are coming to Site 42. Well, if they're being transferred, that means they've been separated at least. So that's good news. Desk! Good to see you in the chat, friend. If Synth is still here, yeah, Synth is still here, I believe, too. Duma 8 Shinobu, yes. SCP-3313 is Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. You can't make this stuff up. SCP-729-J. Thank you for donating again. Of course, Dr. Sherman loves me. Everyone loves me. Disgusting. Zero, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken wings on your way past the commissary. The Serpent here. I stole Steve's credit card again, and now getting the internet to play online games, the 5G the site gives isn't enough. The internet here is fine. We're throttling you because you're doing crime. And when you're doing crime, we do not aid and abet. Give the credit card back, get back in your cell, and stop it. Cactus, thank you for donating again. Are reality benders really able to make gods poof? It depends on the god, because reality benders are not gods. They're different. Gods are part of the universe they are in, and they have domain over, they have abilities, but they're still part of the reality they are in. Whereas a reality bender is a separate thing from a god. It can manifest all sorts of crazy things because it is more real than the reality around it. And so yes, reality benders can just gods, but also many gods are a form of reality bender. It's their types, there's a whole listing. So it gets kind of confusing. So the answer is sometimes yes and sometimes no. Fogman8U, thank you for donating again. Red viscous liquid, that is life. You're really about that viscous fluid, huh? Well, as I said, the commissary's got you covered. Make your way. You're fine, right? You know where it is? Third door on the left. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Maybe Magtoth can help make the tree scream. Did you try lava to make it scream? But first I need to find the little guy. If we burn the tree, then we won't be able to test on it anymore. So there's only so much destruction we can do to make the tree scream. We are currently in active trials with emotional abuse. I do believe that we're still waiting on approval to use one of those 729-J instances for testing. I think it'll work. But the ethics committee needs to approve that level of testing. Didn't we brand it? Yes, Edward, we did brand the tree, which is a very small, localized burn. For some reason, the previous researcher branded it with the word slave. I don't know why he made that decision. Honestly, I think that was a weird one. I think branding it was enough. Branding the word slave got a little weird in there. But, I guess it was his prerogative to test it, and it didn't work anyway, so. Jonathan, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. No, Dr. Sherman, please no scare. SCP-4521, no, pill only for normal tree scream. Very safe, very good. You don't want big scream? No scam, I swear. No, see, you just said it's only for normal trees to scream. The tree that needs to scream is SCP-4521 specifically. It is a Douglas fir, an ugly one at that, from God's Silence, Oregon. And you know, the name is ironic or fitting, one of the two, I don't care right now. But all the other trees in God's Silence, Oregon do scream. So it's only 4521 that doesn't, so it's not the town, the area, it's something else. But we're gonna figure it out. Synth, thank you for joining us for a bit. Happy to have you aboard. Take care and get some rest and some recharging in your pod. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Jell-O on your way past the commissary. I'm out of the hospital now. I got an infection last Sunday, getting better though. I am glad to hear you are getting better. Congratulations on your recovery and getting out of the hospital. Keep resting. Don't go too hard too quickly. Fogman ate you. Thank you for, becoming an overseer level member here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership. You're one of the bosses around here now. Good job. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Dr. Tyrone Sherman. Oh, you're so close. Yeah, wait, isn't your name Theron? Yes, that is correct. I believe Gamers Against Weed is messing with your documentation in our database. It'll be dealt with shortly. Not those trolls. Okay, yes, thank you for handling the situation. We cannot have them getting access to our documents. The dank memes they're going to put in here will cause a lot of chaos. What would happen if I used SCP-3313 as a redacted? Well, based on the context clues, I think the answer is going to be you would be fired for trying to fraternize with an anomaly. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I hope you're doing good today. The Church of the Broken God has tried to get me multiple times, but I escaped every time. Sent one guy into a universe full of bees. Hilarious. Well, Avari, stay safe. Do what you can not to get got, because they are persistent, if anything else. Someone make a meanwhile in Australia meme of 729-. Please. Oh, we're not supposed to make those anymore? But I really want to now. I like the way you're thinking here. Huh. Oh, the gagging is back. Yes. Sadly, eating another one of those hot chips is not worth the one time of very difficult digestive distress compared to the mild distress of the things. So I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it. Doc, help. Send backup immediately. Thanks to those chaos idiots and those book burners, a hostile anomaly has escaped. It looks like SCP-999, but carnivorous. Send help, please. So a carnivorous slime. I mean, yeah, I guess you could compare that to 999 if you want to, but it's just a carnivorous slime. Do we have any other slimes in containment besides 999, by the way? Obviously, 999 is a slime, and 447 is not living slime, but it is slime. What the hell? 7667 refers to anomalous species of slime mold cells. Interesting. But what scares me here... Oh no. The fear in my eyes when I pull up a database entry and I get the adult content splash page. What am I getting into here? Why is it a slime? And why is it adult content? SCP-071 is a metamorphic entity that possesses the ability to assume forms consistent with that of its observer's strongest sexual desire. This ability is effective even through barriers designed to prevent 071's recognition of any observers, such as through closed-circuit surveillance or one-way mirrors, but can be prevented by introducing a delay in surveillance footage so that such observation does not occur in real time. SCP-071 appears to be unable or unwilling to change form without external stimuli, instead remaining in its last form when unobserved. There appears to be little or no limit to the forms SCP-071 is capable of assuming. See Addendum 071-1 for additional information. Wretched. Wretched. So it turns into whatever the observer desires. And over the course of testing, we had a D-class turn it into a golden retriever. And then we had a... We had a D-class turn it into a dead woman. And then we had a third D-class turn it into a child. Because, of course, that would be why the D-class got the death penalty. Honestly, I'm shocked the researcher in charge didn't terminate that guy immediately. A note from the desk that you might find interesting. SCP, what is the number of Meanwhile in Australia again? 5883 is one of the only SCPs to affect Dr. Alto Clef against his will. Meaning that the SCP-5883 meme is incredibly potent. And yes, in the documentation for SCP-5883, you can see the effects the anomaly had on Dr. Clef. The Meanwhile in Australia meme that makes things the reverse of what they are. I don't know why that article came up when I was looking for slime entities. I mean, I guess that person was morally slime, but... edgy-ass website. Desk, I was talking about 071 for that one. That is the one that turns into whatever the viewer desires. Ugh. God bless asexuality, right? Specifically, SCP-3305, bread Jesus, for that blessing. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Meanwhile, in Australia, Dr. Theron Sherman. Thank 5320, the infinite fish that just goes on forever, why that we are not allowed to use that meme anymore, because I do not want to know what my meanwhile in Australia is like. Oh, that's probably terrifying. Epsilon, Asian Epsilon, correct. Hashtag disgusted in asexual is right. Unicorn Girl, the fish is not a loop. Junior Researcher Sally, thank you for being a member. The fish is not a loop. At Pebble, fuck the police. You might be a fan of SCP-467 something 9. SCP Sears. 4670. SCP-4670 is a Greek female named Cici Heliou and possesses 3 known anomalous properties. The ability to transform human beings into instances of SCP-4670-1 via direct contact with an unprotected body part. Instances of SCP-4670-1 are physically and behaviorally identical to non-anomalous pigs, but genetically and gustatorily identical to human beings. That means someone tasted it to make sure it tasted like human, by the way. Extreme resistance to all known forms of chemical, memetic, and cognitohazardous brain chemistry altering agents, and dramatically slowed aging. SCP-4670 runs around opening barbecue restaurants, and then when police come to eat there, it turns the police into pigs and serves them up barbecue style. SCP-4670 is the fuck the police anomaly. Nope, we don't need epic music for that. I've still got some catching up to do here. Ten Tails Gaming, thank you for donating again. Hey, Dr. Sherman, why are the Foundation assigning me to be a bodyguard to an O5 council member? This is pretty new to me as an anomaly. Strange. Yes, considering that we specifically keep anomalies away from the overseers in most cases. That is quite peculiar. I would actually think this might be some sort of assassination attempt. Stay on standby. I do not want to risk this. I mean, we all remember the Ouroboros cycle. There could be another set any minute now. Whoop. Gamer, thank you for donating again. I was on my way to get a cheeseburger in real life. You psychic awesome, Dr. Sherman. I'm an anomaly. I was on my way to get a cheeseburger in real life. You psychic awesome. I, Dr. Sherman, am an anomaly. Someone please clip that. What? No. I am non-anomalous. I am a normal, everyday SCP researcher and site director. I'm a normal human being, damn it. You're all making crazy accusations. I don't know what your deal is. Zero, thank you for donating again. I am in my cell. Steve dropped his credit card, and I'm currently installing Space Marine 2 at 2 gigabytes a second now. I'm going to purge some Xenos. Steve, you're hearing this, right? You gonna do anything about this? What do you mean you left it there on purpose? What kind of cahoots are you guys in? I don't even want to know. If Steve's on board with it... Wait, no! You're still an anomaly in a cell. You're not supposed to have internet access. Jiminy sakes, get down there now, Steve! I gotta go bye, y'all. Catch you later. Lady Void. I request a poll. Fish, not fish, or loop. Not that the poll make a difference to the fact of it not being a loop. Amber, you're playing with fire here because last time we did this, the heretics won. So hold on a second. Okay. 1 second. Is SCP-5320 a loop? Start poll. Okay, continuing on. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Did you try holding your nose during the hot chip challenge? Actually, I completely forgot. I was so nervous that I just shoved it in there. You can remember, if you missed the chippening, the one chip challenge, check out the 10th anniversary birthday stream. It's a very clearly marked video in the playlist of office hours streams. And at exactly the 2-hour mark, that's when we did the chippening. I want to make sure you could find it. So you can go see the one chip challenge yourself in that previous stream. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Is the Mechanicus and the Church of the Broken God the same thing? Interesting. Desk, thank you for pulling up this database file for me so quickly. Imperial name within the Adeptus Terra for the cult Mechanicus or the cult of the machine, based on Mars, which provides the Imperium with its scientists, engineers, and technicians. Tech adepts of Mechanicus are primary keepers. What is sacred wisdom? Privileged caste tech priest. No, they're not, because they worship the Emperor of Mankind. Oh, but they do. While they acknowledge the Emperor of Mankind as the ruler, they still do not believe the religious truth of the cult, and they have their own religion. So, honestly, yeah, this is pretty damn close. I would say if I had to fight one or the other, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Brings the researcher papers I'm supposed to have to be doing, which includes researcher with 053 and 999. That sounds dangerous. We don't want to drown the child. Be careful out there. Fogman ate you. Thank you for donating again. We will acquire red viscous liquid and chaos. We are eaters. I told you where to get it. I don't know why you're repeating yourself. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And I don't have enough coffee for this. You are correct, Intern Bob. This t-shirt, or this button-up shirt, is in fact themed after the Pokemon Togepi. And clipping for an out-of-context compilation. Clipping what? What out-of-context compilation? I need to refresh my browser because this is glitching. All right, we're back in action. Pause this. Ah, good job, stream. It seems like we are holding the heretics at bay with a nice number of 69 believing the truth that the fish is not a loop. Keep up the good work. The battle rages on. Dr. Sherman, what is this religion thing I have to know? Read SCP-5320. That is the Church of the Fish that just goes on forever. Praise its glorious infinitude. May we find the head or the tail. Amen. Now let's get drunk at work. That is part of the prayer. I'm not making that up either. Soul Hunter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a boba tea on your way past the commissary. I got lost going to the kitchen and end up at Site 43. Please help. Oh, I'll text a missive to Dr. Weddle to send you back. Maybe Director Blank will help them out. Why are SCPs in the stream? Well, Intern Rosie, it's because in some universes where this is being broadcast, certain anomalies are tame enough to be allowed broadcasting equipment and or internet receivers. Not mine, but some. Zero, thank you for donating again. It's too late, Doctor. I've already made multiple vlogs about experiments done to me, and now made a petition to have me join the staff at the site. Just need 200 signatures. Will you sign my petition? I'm sorry, what? In what world does that give you the right to be assigned to staff? You are so confusing. Anomalies get promoted to staff through very rare heroic deeds. Taking a vlog of people's experiments of you is not a heroic deed, and in fact, it's a breach of secrecy. Delete those. That's the answer. Caracal, thank you for donating again. Both in and out of character is Are We Cool Yet and the Chaos People really that bad? Also immune to acid because I'm basic as fuck. Good joke, haha. Oh, basic bitches be everywhere and being all immune to acid and things. You know how it is. Yes, Are We Cool Yet are incredibly pretentious, and unlike their leader, many of them are stupid. It's very funny that they keep trying to send a message with their art and then making anomalies that kill people when they look at them. They're not going to get the message if they're dead. And the Chaos Insurgency keep raiding our bases. So, yes, they annoy me. Cyber Scorpion, welcome to Site 42 membership at the Mobile Task Force Captain level. Because you're at level 2 or higher, you're getting early access to the new video we just posted. So congratulations and enjoy that. Meanwhile, that one Protogen VR, thank you for your 1-month member message. I accidentally consumed the Immortal Lizard. My bad. My bad, G. Well, if it doesn't rip out of your stomach like a xenomorph, then I will be happy for you. But we gotta wait and see here. Silver Runner, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some sushi on your way past the commissary. Speaking of 40K, containment procedures for orcs. Oh, I believe Desk is already on the mission here. So, because 40K orcs run on belief like reality benders do, they're accidental reality benders, not purposeful, then we tell them that they're locked in a box that they can't get out of. and then they'll believe they can't get out of it because they are dumb. So, easy come, easy go. Get in there, you hoes. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Found Magtoth hiding in 682's containment cell. I'll be sure to get a sitter for him so I don't have to bring him back to work again. Last one quit from burning. Well, yes, if your pet is burning me, I also would not take care of it for you. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. Just for record, are we cool yet? In the sense that we at the Site 42 SCP Foundation site are cool, yes. But in the way you phrased it and capitalized it, mentioning a group of interest who is in fact super lame and not cool, no. Fogman 8U, thank you for donating again. To the ending sun we pray, the viscous we aspire, the red we hope, the liquid we love, the end we bring, the hope we eat. So, the red we hope, but then you eat the hope? That's a real head scratcher there. There's some tautology action going on. The Canadian Overlord, thank you for donating again. You do recognize the bodies in the body? Oh no. Oh no, human bodies are made up of a large percentage of water. So bodies in the bodies could be a new form of bodies in water. But I'm fine. My cognitive resistance value is through the roof. You saw on Hot Chip Day. That's why I'm the boss around here. So the question is, are you guys okay? Desk, are the filters protecting them from the bodies in the bodies? I don't think we expected that situation. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Sorry, I meant I brought the research paperwork on the different research I did with 053 and 999. Not at the same time. Oh, thank Lord. Yeah, that's way better. I appreciate that. Yeah, wording can be tricky over text communication, that's for sure. So, yes, 053 being friends with a water nymph sounds very unlikely, though. What a strange universe. I guess perhaps the water nymph has decided that 053 isn't a threat and also is maybe has some sort of parental feeling for this 3-year-old child. We here at the Desk of Alto Clef can confirm Reality Sync is working at 100% efficiency. Whew, okay, we're good. We're good. Protected from the bodies in the body. Operta Lupus, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I have Zero. Thank you for donating again. I have many feats, Doctor. I am the slayer of many donuts and, of course, poison breath. Well, you got to be careful because if we put you around the knight who defends against donut taxes, I don't want you destroying that anomaly before we're done testing it. The defender of donut, or is it the challenger of donut taxes? Taxes, SCP. Yes, the challenger of donut taxes is an entity that is a humanoid figure composed entirely of compressed donuts. It also, I believe, has a horse made of donuts. And it shows up to do battle with any legislator or politician that tries to put a tax on donuts. one time it was discovered that when the Donut Knight won a duel with the senator, and the senator's skin was pierced by its lance, the senator was revealed to be an entity composed entirely of bagels. So there's some undercover war between the Donut Knight and the bagel people that we got to keep an eye on, which is why do not eat the Donut Knight, please. Intern Caden Cat. Hi, it's my birthday tomorrow. I'll be 19. Well, almost happy birthday then. Protologue, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pixie stick on your way past the commissary. Remicus Prime, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some shawarma on your way past the commissary. Hello there. There was an anomalous hailstorm in the city where I'm stationed. It lasted about 10 minutes and caused damage. The strange thing is that it's summer here, and it's a desert on the Colorado-Utah border. That does sound a bit sus, as the youth say. All right, we'll get the Anomalous Weather Service to check that out. Thank you for the intel. There's something in my head here. What am I thinking of? Oh! Time check, Site 42 staff. We are at the 100-minute mark of stream. That means we have been streaming for 1 hour and 40 minutes. That means there is 1 hour and 20 minutes left in this stream. On top of which, we are halfway through, which is when we do our gay homework. That's right, it is SCP Pridefest, and we are celebrating LGBTQ-themed SCPs this month. One a day. Now, the wiki is doing its own Pridefest. They're highlighting all sorts of articles. I went directly to the community members on social media and asked them which SCPs I should highlight. So I'm doing a different Pridefest. And so, yesterday you were tasked with reading SCP-4453, codename Wholesome Family Goddess, which is Hera of the Greek gods. And so, this one is one of those gods that's like a reality bender. It has very powerful reality bending powers. So, you gotta watch out for the crazy ones there. Meanwhile, you don't get a lot of the theming that we were talking about for Pride Month in the start of this article. I was actually wondering why it was recommended until I got toward the end, and then I had a very heartwarming moment. Both the goddess is wholesome, as is the article, and I thought that was very sweet of this anomaly and this document. And so I give this article a thumbs up vote. But what did you guys think about SCP-4453 in the chat? I have a feeling Mallow is going to be the #1 SCP in the SCP Pride Month thing. I did not plan to highlight Mallow because A, Mallow is plenty highlighted, and B, because technically there's no LGBTQ theming in there. It is people projecting that onto it, so that's a different matter. So how much do you know about SCP-3302, aka the Gym Look? I heard it was brought to Site-42. I know quite a bit about SCP-3302, codename the Gym Look, because I wrote that one. That's one of my SCPs you've stumbled upon. That's why it's at Site-42, because if there's an article I wrote, I'm going to put it at Site-42 for the reference. So yes, I am quite knowledgeable about the effects of the Gym Look. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. And you just said 8123. So I'm glad you remember that database entry that we went a little crazy, a little nutty, trying to find. On top of which we did use it as a Pride Month highlight a couple days ago. Now, what was I going to say? Yes! And so, we've talked about yesterday's Pride highlight. Now we talk about tomorrow/today's Pride highlight. I want you guys to take your notes, and if you are in the headspace, to read it, because content warnings are big here. I want you to read SCP-8000-EX. SCP-8000-EX is titled Dungeons and Denial and Dysphoria and Dragons. The content warnings are indeed necessary. It's a bit of a tough read, so sit this one out if you are not up to it. Save it for a time when you are more on track. But that is our Pride highlight for the day. Dungeons and Denials and Dysphoria and Dragons. I will tell you more about the themes later, but suffice it to say, it's a bit of a doozy and also dealing with some real-life stuff. Some real-life history. Intern Michael, you do not need to apologize for guessing my SCP. That's just pretty funny, though, that you happened to pick that one. If you want to see all the SCPs that I've written, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site-42 hub on the SCP Wiki. Temp, that sounds pretty heavy. Yeah, it does go into a little bit of the satanic panic around Dungeons and Dragons, as well as some heavy-duty queer and transphobia. So it's a bit of a doozy. Back to the chat. Shark Jumping Walrus, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cake pop on your way past the commissary. Have yourself a good day. Well, I sure will. Dr. Sherman, if you eat 12 spoons and it goes through your digestive tract, will it eventually equate to having 12 spoons in your rectum? Question from a friend of Dr. Remington La Follette. Regarding SCP-7052 and its anomalous abilities, that depends on how well the person eating the spoons digests them. They have to be intact when they reach the rectum. So if they're digested in any manner, that will not successfully work. And as Sheeny points out, quite rightly, I believe what's more likely to happen is they will get stuck in the throat and or stomach and need medical assistance. I don't think spoons are gonna go all the way through the digestive tract. Gamer, thank you for donating again. How do you tell if an SCP has content warnings? Specifically, home is where the heart was, F the AC, F the EC, red right hand is awesome, add wholesome. Home is where the heart was. I'm not familiar with that anomaly, or did I just forget what it is? Let me get that spelled right, please, Dr. Sherman. 3544. Three, 5, 4, 4. So, this article does not have any content warnings. Content warnings are a new feature added to a lot of later SCPs. And then, of course, authors, once that came into being, they've gone back and added content warnings to their previous works. So it's possible that this author has not returned to do that, and staff hasn't noticed that the content warnings are necessary. But for example, on the article I just talked to you guys about, SCP-8000-EX, if you look at the voting module, you will see a little eye and a label that says content warning that you can click on. This is the standard mode of content warnings on the SCP Wiki. And so you can open that to see where they are. There are other articles with content warnings as well, in slightly different manners, but they're usually going to be somewhere around the voting module if they exist. Oh, Desk, thank you for that link. As soon as this refreshes, I can pin it. There we go. Meanwhile, checking the fish poll, Site 42 staff, congratulations on smashing the heretics who foolishly believe the fish is a loop. The fish is clearly correct, not a loop, at 72%. I don't think I even need to leave this poll going anymore. I think the heretics have failed. But you know what? Just to taunt them with a little gem of hope, how's about I leave the poll open a little longer? Just because. Just for the fun of it. Caracal, thank you for donating again. Can you do my homework today? I don't think I could ever read that one. Yes, indeed. Do not read that if it sounds like it won't work for you. Please, do not harm yourself in order to keep up with the Pride Month things. The reason I bring up some negative ones now and again is because there are a lot of people out there who don't believe that Pride is worth a holiday about. And mostly it's because they are typically ignorant of the issues that are constantly barraging the LGBTQIA community. And so when you see the experiences of people who are different than you, when they're negative, you maybe feel some sympathy for them. That's the situation there. Dr. Petty. Well, you know, sometimes, Sheeny, we gotta give them what they deserve. And sometimes that is pettiness. Is the Library of Babel an SCP? Intern Woe, I'm not sure. SCP Library of Babel. Dr. Sherman, I don't work at the Foundation, but I thought I should tell you that the O5 Council found out about the SCP Fight Club. P.S. Don't ask how I get in and out of the Foundation. Hey! There's no SCP Fight Club to speak of. That doesn't exist at all. No one is holding an SCP Fight Club on the second floor of Site 42 that we bet money on anomalies fighting in. That would be a ridiculous thing that we don't definitely not do at 10 p.m. after everyone else is in their dormitories. Not at all. Oh, yes, Library of Babel. Don't forget that, Dr. Sherman. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Come on, you thing. Wake up the database. Yes, SCP-5292 is literally codenamed Library of Babel, to answer your question. 5292 is as close as it's going to get, I guess. Cool, found that out pretty quick. Whoop, don't skip on me now. For a wholesome one, talk about the Patchwork Bear. Well, Foxy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a marmalade sandwich on your way past the commissary. Yeah, the Patchwork Bear is quite wholesome. It is a tiny little stuffed bear that can make organs out of yarn and use them to perform surgery and cure people. And it's a very sweet little guy who walks around the site making friends with everybody and then does good medicine for people. We don't know how the yarn works, but it does. And it's a very nice little guy. The only bad thing is the one time it couldn't save somebody, and it was very sad about that. And it's a very heartstring pulling moment in that anomaly. Terragol, thank you for donating again. During the Totally Not SCP Fight Club, I fought 682. Did you see I almost won? Next time 682 is going down. I definitely did not see any such thing. That did not happen. And next time you gotta avoid the tail whip. Come on now. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. I should clarify, calling you Dr. Petty was not a negative. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Sometimes you gotta get a little petty. Sometimes you gotta show your authority. That's all it is. That's all it is. We know. We know how to roll. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. Queer, non-binary, and unfortunately traumatized person here. Horror is a great coping mechanism for me, especially when it reflects my own experiences. Yeah, sometimes that's the case. And so if that is something that will help you, definitely whatever your therapist tells you, or the little therapist in your mind if you are not fortunate enough to have a therapist, at the end of the day, do what makes your life better, and don't do things that make your life worse. That is my motto. I think it's a good motto. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, I just remember my paperwork is done in carry-ons, stickers, and glitter. Is that okay? Well, it's certainly unprofessional. You do know how to use a proper pen, yes? If you need one, I can lend you one. Fogman, thank you for donating again. We are the bodies in the water. Is that true? I didn't think the bodies in the water could operate cell phones. The cell phones would get wet. You can't be transmitting electronically. That doesn't make sense. Plus, all that came around by the class of 75. They didn't have cell phones back then. They're not watching the stream. You're something else. We'll figure it out, though. We always do. The Punisher, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some rations on your way past the commissary. Random Fandom, I do not remember if I saw your comment or not. Was it on which social media did you comment it on so I can check? Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. 049 said you would like it. And you trusted 049 with that. After all the pranks 049 has played on me, you thought that was going to be an honest situation? Do not believe Ondor's lies. That is a motto when it comes to 049. No, we don't need that. Come on, chill out. Dr. Sherman, have you even finished all the necessary paperwork for today? Intern engines, obviously, I'm on top of my paperwork. Now, some other in staff are doing ridiculous things with glitter and crayons, but my documents are in order. Believe you me. Hollowed Shadow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a jelly baby on your way past the commissary. How much of your record is redacted and black ink? Hey, we had a little bit of an obsession with the black markers and the redacteds and the expungements, but we've gotten over that. You look at new documents, we're much more judicious at the black ink well. Come on. Dee Dee, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a taco on your way past the commissary. Have we tried making the tree scream out of elation or joy instead of fear or pain? Dr. Lulu. Well, Doctor, I am of the opinion that that's not going to work, but if you want to do that outside of my testing schedule, that is up to you. Okay, let me pop over here. Silence that before it turns on. Come over here. Commentary. Darkness is coming. Random Fandom, I do not see your comment on the post that you're speaking of on the YouTube community post. Although YouTube does a very funny thing where it gives everyone two names, and the name that you have in the comments might not be the same name that you have in this chat, which is very frustrating. I've definitely seen it where I've seen the same username for someone I know, but it's giving a different name in the comments. So I do not see a Random Fandom in the comments here, which means you must have a different user handle in the comments. Very confusing app. While I continue to look for your name for your next statement there. Out of character. The Desk of Alto Clef, I'm a big fan of your voice acting, 10 out of 10. My fave is probably transcript of Dr. Clef's seminar, Reality Benders and You, How to Survive When Existence Doesn't. Dr. Recondite, Desk's Clef is the pinnacle of clefness. I will have you know that the author of Alto Clef, we usually just call him Author Clef, has ceded the power of Clef to Desk here. Has said, this is a better representation of Alto Clef than even I could write. And so Desk is the king of Clef. And yes, especially that Reality Bender seminar here on the channel. Beautiful. Basically, 682 is the Roadrunner, and we're Wile E. Coyote from Looney Tunes. Random Fandom, I don't like that you're correct. I don't appreciate it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What if I try using the tips of my claws like quills? Well, if you have an inkwell and you can write in proper type, then yes, that should be fine. Fogman, thank you for donating again. We are the fog that never leaves, a man who never breathes, an 8 that never loops, a U that never starts, a puzzle never solved. This anomaly seems to like to hear itself talk, doesn't it? That is a lot of mysterious vagary. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to glean very much from these codes. Blake, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a popsicle on your way past the commissary. Would creepypastas be considered SCPs? Say it with me, everyone. The creepypastas are anomalous, but they are not SCPs. Because very simply, to be an SCP, it has to be on the SCP database. And because we are a Creative Commons community, we do not steal works from others unless it's like public domain and we're making a joke about it or something. So, that is the situation where the creepypastas exist in their own separate canon universe from the SCP, but we would consider them anomalous anyways. Just like any superheroes are anomalous. There's all sorts of anomalies out there that aren't SCPs because they belong to different fandoms. Now, there are certain creepypastas who have snuck their way onto the wiki in certain manners. For instance, Slender Man has a off-brand SCP, SCP-582. That one's called Bundle. And Bundle is the SCP version of Slendy. Meanwhile, Siren Head has a parody post on the wiki, SCP-6789, I think? But it's not actually Siren Head. It is a boat with the figurehead of a siren that sings sailors to their deaths. And that one is named Siren Head to troll people who believe Siren Head is an SCP when it isn't. Yes, SCP-5987 is the fake Siren Head. Alright, got that there. Got back to chat. Harkin Angel and Noobing Around the World. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Is the Odd Job or is the Odd Squad just the foundation for kids? Basically, yes. Very much like our academy. Help, I was late. What is our gay homework? Tater Tot, your gay homework is going to be SCP-8000-EX. It's called Dungeons and Denial and Dysphoria and Dragons. Content warnings are important on this one. It is pretty stressful. I'm working on paperwork to transfer Demon Kid back to his original site. It's not his. Anomalies are not people, they are objects. Do not humanize them. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols. Which is Site 50. I need a higher-up's approval for this, so I'm asking you. It said it'd keep trying to kill you. I'm not afraid of threats from an anomaly in containment. No, no, no. We're keeping it right here and showing it who's boss. Can you talk about SCP-022? Well, Foxy, thank you for your 1-month membership message. And 022, I don't remember that one. The Morgue, code name. SCP-022 is a morgue in the basement of redacted hospital in Britain until 1980 redacted. Redacting dates in our own database. Why? Reports of strange activity were first received in the 80s. Area was soon quarantined by the Foundation. Periodically, a random drawer within the morgue will open to reveal a cadaver under a covered sheet. After approximately 6 minutes open, the cadaver will animate and attempt to leave the morgue. At this point, the cadaver is given the designation of 022-1. In some cases, the cadaver will be damaged or decomposed to successfully exit, or even rise from the table. In this case, the -1 will typically struggle and twitch on the table until expiration occurs. Should an instance of 022-1 expire while remaining on the table slides back into the drawer, which then shuts. Reports indicate the scent of burnt tissue is evident immediately following such an event. We don't know what energy source that keeps them alive. They possess physical strength that exceeds that of normal humans. Wow, that's a pretty good lifting force. Body parts that are severed will become dormant, but the largest body part will retain the living effects. Okay, it is a morgue that has some bodies coming back to life. I honestly am not too interested in that one. It seems like we've got a pretty good deal containing it, so I'm not super worried about that one. The Punisher, thank you for donating again. How would you contain Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Isn't Dio Brando a vampire? Am I remembering the right entity from that universe? Abilities. Dio's man stand is the world, a humanoid stand that specializes in melee attack, roughly equal if not superior in force and speed to Star Platinum. Dio discovers he's capable of stopping time. At first he thought he could do this for a very short amount of time. By the end of part 3, it is able to stop time for a maximum of 9 seconds. Dio can move in other time stops for a maximum of 2 seconds. These durations would have continued to develop had Dio not been defeated. When stopping time, Dio gives the impression that he is teleporting or otherwise moving at impossible speeds. So, and it's a vampire. Expensive having a body sustained by sheer willpower alone rather than vital energy is sufficiently negate sustaining force presence. This is a great long unliving body. So vampirism, strength, long-livedness. Yeah, superhuman strength, quick healing, and eternal life. This one we would probably have to lock down, similar to Conquest being locked down by the GDA. If we wanted to keep it alive, we would have to both lock it in a giant immovable cell so it couldn't get momentum to free itself. We'd probably have to damage it pretty well to get it to that state. On top of which, the stand is a separate entity, and we'd probably have to use some SRAs to negate that active. But if those resources were not available, then we would have to find a way to eliminate the entity, similar to a certain vampire we decommissioned, SCP-083-D, decommissioned by the actions of Dr. Benjamin Kondraki in the breach event known as Duke Till Dawn. Too bright, go away. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. If Slenderman was an SCP, how would we deal with it? I assume the same way we would deal with SCP-582. Because 582 is Bundle, the off-brand SCP Slenderman. So, due to high risk of memetic spread, all information materials pertaining to the specifics of 582-Delta's containment narrative, manifestations, abilities, and history that has been judged to conducive to perpetuation of the meme are to be handled solely by Special Intelligence Team Bump in the Night. Special Security Order. Access to Secure Archive 582 by outside personnel is permitted only by 2/3 majority O5 permission. All major internet search engines are to be monitored for any references to 582 under any of its known names. Copies of all media relating to 582 are to be stored in Secure Archive 582. The origin of sources of the materials and all records regarding the individuals responsible for the creation of such are to be expunged as outlined in the documentation. And so the idea here is basically we made a story, a meme, that made the entity into something that could be contained. And we have to make sure that non-people don't know about it. That way they can't will it to be something else. We also have another anomaly that can only be contained by hiding knowledge of it. That way people don't will it to be something worse. SCP Just a Chair is the code name for it. SCP-2950, codename Just a Chair. Description: 2950 is a metal folding chair. Its anomalous effect causes those who sit in it to experience elevated levels of comfort that do not correspond to chairs of similar composition and style. And so, it is a memetic chair that makes you want to sit in it.